It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it. This should take care of that nonsense. Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. Why, thank you. It's always nice when a fellow professional appreciates your work. That we do, Harry. Let them say what they will about you and me. We're both born fighters. Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave. Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today? Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist. Have a good day, Mr. Dubois. I'm sure I'll be seeing you around. Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. Mr. Dubois, I take it you have reconsidered your stance on the etiquette of verbal communication. Welcome, Mr. Dubois. It's good of you to stop by. Please, have a seat. Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. Mr. Dubois, I hope time is on your side this time. Please, take a seat. Have a good day, Mr. Dubois. I'm sure I'll be seeing you around. Please, have a seat. Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi, how nice that you found a moment to pay a visit to the Debarders Union. I'm Evrart Clare, head of this little operation here. Mr. Dubois, how nice that you found a moment to pay a visit to the Debarders Union. I'm Evrart Clare, head of this little operation here. Have it your way, Mr. Dubois. You'll be back. So, I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand? I'm Evrart Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Or, don't mention it. But also don't forget it. I'm just kidding, of course. Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is. Cool? I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager. But, sure, if that's what's cool nowadays. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun. Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. See you soon, Debarder. Just kidding. But not too much. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry. My dear Harry. There are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. Funny. That doesn't ring any bells, Harry. It's wonderful that you've stolen a membership card, but this is a key card. You can't get out of the harbour without it. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right. Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. Are you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be all right. Lieutenant Kitsuragi doesn't seem to be here at the moment. You came alone. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus can be a handful sometimes. Mr. Dubois, the word in Martinez is a certain police officer is once again happily reunited with his service weapon. Congratulations, my friend. Mr. Dubois, why on earth are you dressed like my recently deceased security guard? Mr. Dubois, every worker, Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today? So, the ship has sailed. Did you see it? I know you did. Tell me, what did it look like as it grew smaller and smaller when that mainsail dropped behind the horizon? Did it look like a germ? Did it look like a piece of bacteria? Ha ha ha! Mr. Dubois, so be it. How can I help you today? That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervour now burns in your heart too. How can I help you today? Eh? Why the hell not? Now, how can I help you today? And for his fellow man. That's right, Mr. Dubois. You're turning out to be quite the individualist there. So, you had business with me? From where I'm sitting, it looks more like you've robbed a dead man, Mr. Dubois. But as this matter is far below my pay grade, I'm just going to ask, how can I help you today? Very powerful, Mr. Dubois. This is a very powerful statement. Now, how can I help you today, Mr. Political Statement? A deceased security guard's uniform? Oh yeah, in the extreme. Now, how can I help a cool guy such as yourself today, Harry? Stealing the clothes of a security guard who'd only just died of old age? Well, maybe not entirely, but you had business to discuss with me, Harry. Now, what can Evrart Clare do for you today? Mr. Dubois, every worker is a god, right? What can I do for you today? Mr. Dubois, every worker... To hell with it. Every worker is white. Now, what can I do for you today? Mr. Dubois, every worker for himself, right? What can I do for you today? You strike me as a reasonable man, Harry. I like that in a law man. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? What can Evrart Clare do for you? Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good. What an odd demonstration of... You got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time, and I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too. Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency? Excellent, Harry. Of course, that's your name. What else could it be? Now, please, have a seat. I prefer my police officers old-fashioned like that, with a gun. You can do so many things with a gun that you can't do without one. Now, what can I help you with? I, too, have convictions, one of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. I do want you to feel at home, Harry, truly. But you'll have to excuse the humble accommodations. Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist. I see you are an extremely stubborn man, Mr. Dubois. That ain't necessarily a bad thing. Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. I rarely do, Harry. I have people for that. Now, you were saying? Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Oh, yes. She came to see me. Said Titus Hardy is the most stubborn man she's ever met, and you are on a whole new level of difficult. Honestly, Harry, jamming a wedge between a man and his legal counsel is no small achievement. Sounds like you're handling this like a super cop. Oh, I can imagine that. Lizzie is tenacious like a little pit bull. Underneath the law degree and sophistication, she's still a Martinesian through and through. That's Titus Hardy, all right. They say no man is an island, but Titus Hardy is definitely an island. And a big one at that. At least he thinks he is. To tell you the truth, I'm actually quite interested to see how this whole thing between you and Titus is going to play out. You guys really deserve each other. God damn it, Harry. Please warn me first if I ever make it to your shit list. And I promise to extend you the same courtesy. Oh, that a Sal. Yes, I do seem to remember sending a pretty young thing down there to liven up the place. Get some melodic music in there. Yes, Harry. Let's talk about what's really important to you. Amphetamine lab? That sounds very immoral and debauched. Frankly, a health risk. But what do I know about kids these days? The music they listen to, the drugs they do while they listen to that music. Random kids? That there is the daughter of Miko the kebab, a man who once killed a guy with a kebab. I think a daughter of a man who killed a man with a kebab can handle running a little nightclub, don't you? Maybe it was Bogovir. Or Jakub. I think it might have been Conrad. A nightclub. Harry, I'm an old-fashioned guy. After work, I like to listen to some rock and roll music and have a non-alcoholic lager. Nightclubs don't interest me. I got it, Harry. It was Radogost. Radogost the kebab. But enough of koikos and kebabs. What else can I do for you? Well, you know how it is, Harry. Kids will be kids. At her age, me and Edgar were getting drunk, sneaking out at night, throwing rocks at motor carriages. But anyway, don't let me drift away to memory lane. Tell me how I can help you, Harry. But here I am, talking about myself, when you have much more important things going on. Tell me, Harry, how can I help you? No, you didn't. I know the mailman, Harry. I know everyone and everything that happens in this town, and I know there's no letter in that mailbox yet. Just like I know you'll get it done. Once you stop horsing around, let me know when it's done. That this is a takeover, that I want a war. God, I hope you also told her about the drug trade. They absolutely hate getting their hands dirty with that. You can kill 1 million people, but if you do something the police doesn't like, well, then you're out of the yacht club. Goodbye, you inhuman fuck. Don't worry, Harry. He does. At least I think he does. It's okay, Harry. I'm just thankful you delivered my message. You're right, Harry. There's no need for that. Ha! I guess what matters is that my message got across. I bet it did. I bet it did. Ha! I guess what matters is that my message got across. Harry. I can't see into the future. We are all playing by ear on this planet. I had no idea she'd react so strongly. I did. I knew the negotiations would go better with police officers telling her horror stories from inside the harbour. It's scarier this way. Turns out it was a magnificent strategy. I never thought it'd so fundamentally fuck her up. Harry, I bugged her cabin. I bugged her whole boat. I had cameras surveying her boat. Hell, I even wanted to bug that thermal cap. But my boys advised against it. Not me personally. I had guys recording and processing this information for me. Hell no! They'd fuck it up. They can't do anything right. I mean my real boys. My special task force boys. They sure as hell aren't hanging out in the open with beers in their hands for the copster question. They're pros, Harry. They sure as hell aren't hanging out in the open with beers in their hands for the copster question. They're pros, Mr. Kitsuragi. Harry, you made a conscious decision to relay that information to her. You could have kept it for yourself. No, Harry. What we have is real. We're working men. This here is real. Against you? Oh, Harry, I'd like to think I used it for you. Of course she did. Rich people have the best stories about all the interesting things they've done and seen, all the beautiful places they've been to. It's just sentimentalism. She can afford to be sentimental, and she can afford to lose as well. She's not insane. What did she tell you? Heh, she's a sentimental alcoholic. They all are, Harry. Never take a drop and you'll be 8 laps ahead of the upper-class winos, just like old Mr. Clare here. Try it. You'll be a real super detective. Don't just say it, Harry. Do it. We gotta be more disciplined than they are, or we'll lose. What was always going to happen? We take the harbour and she fucks off to Ozon, uncorks a bottle of wine, calls her partners, and says they need to distance themselves from this nasty business before the big shit spinner splashes everyone. Only difference is the Union doesn't have to lose 2,000 men to machine gun fire. Yes, of course, Harry. That's why you went to her and relayed every little thing I told you. I can see that, Harry. Alcohol has left its marks, but you're doing better than when I first saw you. Rich man is shitting himself. The working class sober. See, this is what they want us to do. Suck on that sugar and wine teat until we're insane like they are. You gotta be smarter than that, Harry, or you'll lose. No, she's not. She's a sentimental alcoholic. They all are. Never take a drop and you'll be 8 laps ahead of those upper-class winos. Just like old Mr. Clare here. Try it. You'll be a real super detective. You knew something. Something big. And you wanted to see what happens when you tell someone. So you told her. Anyone who's ever been close to power will tell you. Inside information is the sweetest thing in the world. It's better than money. It's better than pussy. Money only makes you special for some salesmen. Pussy only makes you special for yourself. Information makes you special for all mankind. It's the ticket to history. Don't beat yourself up, Harry. What you did was participate in history. When history calls, you have to pick up. You had no choice. None of us ever do. A hard disco cop like you, I knew you weren't one to resist temptation, but look at me going on, like some kind of a father figure. And to think we're about the same age. Right on, Harry. What you did was participate in history. When history calls, you have to pick up. You had no choice. None of us ever do. A hard disco cop like you, I knew you weren't one to resist temptation. Damn right it does, Harry. What you did was participate in history. When history calls, you have to pick up. You had no choice. None of us ever do. A hard disco cop like you, I knew you weren't one to resist temptation. Just look at the 3 of us. The 3 careless boyaderos. Good times, good times. That it will, Harry, that it will. As to the bad taste, please, you're not a sommelier, you're a cop. Filthy swilty, Harry. You knew something big, and you wanted to see what happens when you tell someone. So you told her. Anyone who's ever been close to power will tell you. Inside information is the sweetest thing in the world. Damn, Harry. I was hoping that too. But the information I gave you proved too powerful. Harry, when I need to tell people, I might as well do it myself. That's why I like initiative. And inspiring initiative. It's more natural that way. Mega-rich light-bending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega-rich light-bending guys. Honestly, Harry, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect. Honestly, Harry, we might be moving a spot of drugs through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect. Honestly, guys, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect. Honestly, guys, we might be moving a spot of drugs through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect. You're right, Harry. I am a socialist. I'm going to catch the mega-rich guy inside the container and harvest his energy to power the harbour's fog lights. Ha ha ha! I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry. No, they're not. They're vermin, and one just found a way inside my container. Soon, he'll bring the others. All 3 of them. Thank you for telling me. I'll see to this immediately. You're a fucking idiot, Harry. I love it. Thank you for sharing this deep, idiotic part of yourself with me. A hallucinating market liberal. I love it. So poetic. Harry, it's beginning to dawn on me that you're a real fascist. A mega-fascist who imagines mega-rich light-bending fascists. I love it. Thank you for sharing this facet of yourself with me. My. She's quite the looker, Harry. You can't imagine how pleased I am the 2 of you are reunited. Tell me, was it difficult to convince the pigs to give it up? I guess you're right, Harry. I appreciate you coming back to report on your progress. Now, what can Evrart Clare do for you? I told you she was a piece of work, Harry, but I knew you could handle it. I know my special policeman. Anyway, I'm glad you're all right and armed again. I knew you could handle it. I know my special policeman. Anyway, I'm glad you're all right and armed again, Harry. Now, what can Evrart Clare do for you? Found God knows where? That Acel is the daughter of Miko the kebab, a man who once killed a guy with a kebab. Mr. Dubois, I hope time is on your side this time. Please, take a seat. What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what? I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject. Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we? You've got a lot of spirit clearing up the drug problem alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now, let's talk real business. Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good. You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favourite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry. Ah, yes, your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business. Now there's a whole lot of work to do. For me and for you. I suppose there was a reason you came here, so let's get to it. What can I help my best friend and comrade with today? Okay. Hell yes it is. Now we let bygones be bygones because there's work to do. For me and for you. I suppose there was a reason you came here, so let's have it. What can I help my best friend and comrade with today? If you haven't spoken with my man Magnani yet, I'd suggest you start there. He's more in touch with what's happening at the ground level, so to speak. Sure thing, Harry. We're all business now. The answer is still no. I'm a busy man, as you can see. I don't block off time on my schedule for underground types. Mr. Dubois, really? Do I look like a man who has time for underground communists? I'm as above ground as it gets. Now, was there anything else you wish to discuss today? You've already spoken with Manana, as I understand. I'm afraid I don't have anything else for you on this subject. Ah, yes, I was informed. It seems to be a big undertaking. What are you hoping to achieve with it exactly? Indeed. I'm glad to see you making headway with your endeavours, Mr. Dubois. I look forward to seeing the end result. Is there anything else on your mind? A vanity project? Or is this your way of inciting rebellion? Tut tut. I thought you lawmen were supposed to keep the peace. Mr. Dubois, please. It is clearly the work of a great businessman. And I know I didn't order it. Interesting. This is a small fortune waiting to be claimed. Always exciting to see promising businessmen rise up through the chaff. In any case, I'm glad to see you making headway with your endeavours. I look forward to seeing the end result. Is there anything else on your mind? Anyway, I'm glad to see you making headway with your endeavours. I look forward to seeing the end result. Is there anything else on your mind? I'm glad to see you making headway with your endeavours, Mr. Dubois. I look forward to seeing the end result. Is there anything else on your mind? Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age? Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Rubbish, Harry, rubbish. I mean, look at you. For your age, you are obviously in peak physical condition. A real silverback. You did look like you were gonna collapse and die when I told you about your lost gun. Things do always turn real wacky when you and I are in the same room, don't they, Harry? Yes, Harry. You are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive. You did look like you were gonna collapse and die when I told you about your lost gun. Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. You spin-kicked my strongest man in the face. I saw it from my window. It was a figure of speech, Harry. Of course I don't have a window. I'm in a container. Don't worry, Harry. Between you and me, I'm not a huge fan of his race thing. But the Union did not get where we are today by frowning on eccentricity. Harry, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Usually, I have all the necessary information before I need to request it. Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil? Personally, I'm not big on the whole race thing, but that's okay. It's all right to be a massive racist, Harry. Let me assure you, I'm very glad you're comfortable sharing this with me. I run a big and quirky organization. Everyone is welcome. Birds of all feathers. Of course, Harry, of course. You're not some kind of a fantastic racist now. And rest assured, no one's going to hear about it. No one's going to know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Word of how racy it got will never leave Martinez. But of course, Harry. Oh, you're so clever, Harry. And technically, you're right. Now, what else can I do for you? Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard? Let's hear it, Harry. Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry. It's Harry. Harry Dubois. But of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay. Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. You wanted something from me. Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Evrart, I call you Harry. My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that? So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder. I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is, I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably right. I can. You must have questions, Harry. Come on now. Don't be shy. Let's hear them. Don't be silly, Harry. Harry Dubois, that's a real man's name. A union man's. And I can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you? Sure, okay. You're Harold. Harmon. Haroldamus? But that's not what the record says. The record says Harry Dubois, a real man's name. Excellent. I know you RCM people like your call signs. Harry Tequila Sunset Dubois. I can see that. But to me, and the Census Bureau, you will always be Little Harry. Fine, Harry. You can even be Harry Raphael Dubois de Costo, or whatever you choose to be. No, I'm really not. You are Harry. Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. I, however, wish to help you any way I can. Family, Harry, is the most important thing in the world. That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats. Well, yes. I'm sure you're going to make one little boy or a girl very happy and proud one day, Harry. I'm afraid this is meant for union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry. Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them. Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau, like I said. Now I'm actually a very busy man, so is there anything else I can do for you, Harry? But I really got you good there for a moment, didn't I, Harry? Now, what can I do for you, Harry? I just know the things that matter to our friendship, and I want you to feel free to ask me about those things. Oh, Harry. Oh, wow. This is really something. So how about it, Harry? You need assistance, I presume? It says... Oh, yes. Very interesting. It says you're more like a mad prophet than a cop, always rambling about the end of the world. I'm sure these stories are exaggerated. Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. Oh, Harry, you are the most regular, traditional, by-the-book law official imaginable. Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar. Well, Harry, it looks like you like to party. Hard. And you like disco music. I guess you're a disco cop. Of course, Harry. Sin, blood, death, catastrophic loss of life. All those things. And that's why you and I must be prepared. So let's talk about how we can help each other. I know that, Harry. I know you. And rest assured, your secret is safe with me. Well, you sure come off as very confident in all our interactions, Harry. You're a real man's man. Yes. You seem to be. A lot of the time. But right now, there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. Be you. Of course you're not, Harry. You're my special boy. Big friend of the Union. This is very non-ordinary. As do we all, Harry. We're all just trying to do our best, aren't we? I'm going to help you do yours. Nonsense, Harry. You lit up this container when you walked in here. You're my golden boy. Of course I do, Harry. And I'm going to help you shine. I'm going to put you on all the big stages, your name in giant neon letters. Harry Dubois. I'm going to stand 100% behind you through all these changes, Harry. You need to understand that all I want to do is to help you. Harry, sometimes I think we're so similar it frightens me. I too love regular, normal music. Now that is funky, Harry. You are a colourful fellow. Not a boring stiff like this deceitful folder here implies. I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask. Maybe I can help you out. No, don't interrupt him. Me and Harry are having a moment here. Go on, Harry. Oh, I know everything about you, Harry. I have a big fat folder on you. Very juicy stuff. And the word on the street is your memory is a bit hazy. If that's true, maybe I can help you out. Do you a little favour, so to speak. So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is, however, if you would have a spot of memory trouble, well, let's just say a fat juicy folder could really fill in the blanks. My big fat folder is ready to serve. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Maybe my fat folder and I can help you out. Do you a little favour of sorts. Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Harry has some questions he needs answers to. Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Mr. Kitsuragi. Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Evrart, I call you Harry. So, Harry, what can I help you with today? I guess the stress of peacekeeping and order maintaining can get even to the best of us. I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably right. Experiencing partial amnesia, are we, Harry? I'm very glad to hear it. Some of my associates here in Martinez told me you had trouble remembering things. I am relieved they were mistaken. Don't be too hard on yourself, officer. And if there's anything I can help you with, please don't hesitate to ask. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you. You can find Luke down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you. Now that he's back on his feet, you can find Jean-Luc down at the gates. He's the big impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter, Harry? Jean-Luc, the cop who bested you in physical combat is here, and he has a little dead body in a tree problem. Namely, he needs it to be taken down. Please extend him this courtesy. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending a police officer down. He has a dead body in a tree problem he needs help with. Namely, he needs it to be taken down. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter? And, Jean, please take it easy with the race science. He's had enough of that. And John, please take it easy with the race science. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race science. I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier. What? Oh, how could I forget your little side project? Well done, Harry. Well done. Don't even tell me what it was. But good job. I love it when workers take the initiative like this. What? Did I? Well done then, Harry. I like not knowing about it, and I'm sure you made the right call. I spend the whole day delegating tasks, and it's a great relief to see people taking initiative. I don't even want to know what all of that means. Brew, shady, alcohol, turned off. I'm going to let the world surprise me. Don't even tell me what was going on. Alcoholic brew? Stronger? Stopped it? Strike? I'm just going to let you surprise me, Harry. I don't know what that means, Harry, but I love it. I love your initiative. Knowing you're out there keeping things running lets me focus on the big picture stuff. A fantastic change of heart, Harry. Go talk to Manana down by the gates. He'll brief you and give you the key. Are you shitting me, Harry? Did you not really open the door and are now just telling me you did? You're a wild one, Harry. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you? A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire? I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. No, you haven't, Harry. I haven't told you anything about the crime yet. No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and so is the village, but the mercs and their brutality are very real. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. There's a militant wing inside the Union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labour, but peacekeeping in the neighbourhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. They're like you, idealistic people who want to make sure that bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow. They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees. One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervour drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. By all means, Harry, what's on your mind? They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Harry, they're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. Oh, that would definitely be Fat Angus. His feet smell from a city block away, and he's always having noisy stomach troubles. Horrible, revolting guy. You would die, Harry. You would die, and in the process start a bloody and completely unnecessary war between the Debarders Union and the Citizens' Militia. Angus, his ever-growling stomach, and his smelly feet are all part of the Union. You have as much right to arrest him as he has to arrest you. Angus, his ever-growling stomach, and his smelly feet are all part of the union. You have as much right to arrest him as I have to arrest your partner here. Actually, less. Because this is my hometown, my territory, and my backyard. You are a guest here, Harry. Please remember that. Actually, less. Because it's his home and his backyard. You are a guest here, Harry. Please remember that. Oh, Harry. This is getting real grim and there's no need for that. We are friends. Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you. Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you like I'm helping you with the body and your lost gun. Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help like I'm helping you with your lost gun. Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you like I'm helping you with the body. Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me, but there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open. But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors, but I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're a police officer, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. Oh, you're being too modest, my friend. But don't worry. This annoying thing I have is completely legal. I just need you to open a door. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colours, Harry. This really is very simple and there's nothing shady about it. Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it. Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day. I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry? You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Of course, Harry, I understand. But if that's the case, I don't think we'll ever find your gun. Even worse, we won't be able to speak like equals about the murder. Perhaps this was just bad timing for you. Know that you can always come back to me. I really hope you do. For your sake, my sake, and for your gun's sake too. Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. Sure, I understand. But if that's the case, I don't think we'll ever get to speak like equals. Beautiful friendship unrealized. I really hope you'll change your mind, Harry. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just open one little door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. That's it. Anything else we should discuss? Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Of course, Harry. What are friends for if not for measuring the falsehood one can pass in the disguise of truth? Oh, Harry, you don't need to get back to me. You need to open the door. Very simple, really. I bet it was, Harry. But seriously, what did you see in his apartment? That's exactly what I thought, Harry. What a weasel. And for the record, I was only curious, not testing you. Thank you, Harry. You have shown me that the Barders Union and the Citizens Militia can indeed work together. Now, let's cut down to brass tacks. Be it far from me to ever question your integrity, Harry, but you must have opened the wrong door. Next time, please be certain you get the right one. You know what, Harry? I got a feeling they're going to show up in full force tomorrow. Exactly the kind of fascist memorabilia I was expecting. Weasel probably prays to it every night for the downfall of the Union, just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Evrart's Rainbow Coalition. You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door. Which you did. So we're all good here. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is going to start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is going to be good. Why? Believe me, he's not a killer. He's a nobody. Just a basement variety armchair fascist who comes up with needlessly complex conspiracy theories. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment. You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organisation. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you. Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this, but he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? Of course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer. You are. Of course, Harry. Stoic silence. I like that. Very befitting a police officer. I'm not a real detective. You are. Oh, you're too kind, Harry. Way too kind. I know I'm not a real police officer. You are. What if it did? What if he took a whack in the dark? Started telling people the strike is funded by a protection racket that drove local shops out of business? What if he planned to write a hack piece to the local newspaper regarding these crazy theories he had developed? Just to stir up trouble. Wouldn't that be annoying? Journalism, Harry. I love it. You love it. And you know why? Because we've got nothing to hide. Let's keep it that way. Truly awful. It's great it didn't happen then. I personally love journalism. And I know you do too, Harry. That's because we've got nothing to hide, right? Insidious? Would I ever ask you to do something insidious? Of course not. I personally love journalism. And I know you do too. That's because we've got nothing to hide, right? So funny, Harry. I, of course, love journalism. And I know secretly you do too. And you know why? Because we've got nothing to hide. Now please, let's get back to the good stuff. The police stuff, Harry. I just see myself as one of you guys. Think of me as a sergeant or something. Let's crack this, Harry. See, Harry? Many questions become irrelevant once we ask ourselves why we are even asking them. But I'm sure you have plenty more where that came from. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. Harry, what you need to realise is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighbourhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base. Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them. Certainly, Harry. That's very clever, Harry. Yes, they might have said it just to impress some girls or something. But Titus has a bad temper, so the chances are 50-50. Of course, he just blew smoke up my arse. I guess they're not as tough as they say they are. Well, there's more to this than meets the eye. No, I don't remember hiring any rubies to the Hardy Boys. Oh, the chick Titus and the boys have been hanging around all winter. She has them wrapped around her finger. They're paying her rent, bringing her stuff. Maybe that's connected too. I'm not some genius judge of character. What happened here is up to you to figure out, Harry. Indeed, my friend, all is right. I'm gonna say no. I would say I don't have a drug operation, and if I did, I wouldn't have some Ruby whom I don't even know running it. I'd hire cops, or my mum. I don't even know, Harry. I'm not a drug dealer. For a moment it seemed like you were on the track, had a good theory there, but now it's getting convoluted. My suggestion is to keep it simple. Truth is always simple. Why was I disappointed that they didn't start a war? I'm not a floozy, Harry. You don't just get to second base with Evrart like this. We're at first base, Harry. Of course there were. So they shot him. How odd. I don't know what to say, Harry. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard. What I do know is the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my two little policemen. Godspeed, policeman. What I do know is the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my favourite policeman, Harry. How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company, after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates. You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. You said it, Harry. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. Tribunal? That sounds serious, Harry. We union men should be shitting ourselves. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Let's change the subject. By all means, Harry. What's on your mind? Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Evrart before you've even courted him properly. You're right. My sleep isn't your concern. Tell me, Harry, what else can I help you with? Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. I did that, didn't I? She thinks of herself as a guerrilla fighter. These middle-class kids and the books they read are crazy, Harry. I think she would rather be an insurgent than a lawyer. I hope it's a phase. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk. Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? Good boy, a real team player. Now, do you have any more questions? Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And, of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet. Yes, Harry, it's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't. Just between us, I don't care for those lefty dinks either. It's all about power, and here's how we're going to get it. I need you to be my kingsman, Harry. Perfect, Harry, that's perfect. My version of the left is not against the companies, it's with the companies. Honestly, what I have in mind is a business proposal. A left-wing business proposal, but still... You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is, company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out. Will you help me? What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found, and I have a proposal for you. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is going to start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is going to be good. You see, Harry, it only benefits me if you open the right door. If you open the wrong door, then it makes things harder for me, because now you're scaring random people in my district. I don't want them to be scared. I want them to think, wow, I feel so safe. I like Evrart. I only want weasels to be scared. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed now. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a real Kingsman and a patriot. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a solid socialist. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I know we can do business together. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca, District of La Delta. Then we can talk. Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. Here, perfectly acceptable. No one's going to force you into anything, but I don't know about that gun of yours. You see, I'm a vengeful man, Harry. Part of how I got where I am is that, well, I can be quite nasty sometimes. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're going to get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. They are just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre designed by the best architects from Stella Marie. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. About my fun container? It's a hoot, Harry. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in here the next time they move it. It will be very fun, I promise. Harry, what you need to realise is, we dock workers are not pushovers. As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm going to hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing. Yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast, where all the men have drowned, in either the sea or the bottle. A gloomy place, doesn't have that Union attitude. On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry. Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. The people win, Harry. The people win. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the water lock, but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Absolutely, Harry. Absolutely. Sock it to me. We're going to build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour. But the good news is, the moment you change your mind and want to look into this matter, just tell me, and we'll be buddies again. By all means, Harry. What's on your mind? Oh, Harry, thanks for the tip. I'll leave doing the real damage to you. You are the real police officer after all, not me. Harry, had you asked me earlier, I could have used your help in dealing with a certain weasel. It would have really solidified our friendship. Sadly, the moment has passed and the weasel's back in its den. Nothing to do about it now, so get this. I'm just going to give you the information, because I like you, Harry. The time has passed, Harry. Were you not listening when I just said that? Pay attention, please. Now, do you want to hear about the hanging or not? Fantastic! Time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry. This is gonna be good. Yes, that would have been the interesting way to do things. For both of us, really. But you were too slow. But do not despair over this minor hiccup, Harry. I will tell you about the murder. But enough about me and my container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. You fucked up. You waited too long, the weasel came back, and now you can't open the door I asked you to open. Evrart forgives, Harry. Don't cry, my boy. It's gonna be all right. I'm still gonna tell you about the murder. That's just the way I am. Benevolent. The weasel is no true patriot, Harry. He prays every night for the downfall of the Union, and spits upon the name of the king. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are neat freaks, if you don't mind me saying so. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard. Oh, and she also really likes gardening, I hear. In March? Strange. Anyway, let's move on. I'm not. But I guess you need to talk to this Clasier person now. What a job. Ruby! Ha ha! You come across some wild characters, Harry. Let me tell you. Ruby, huh? I guess you need to discuss her too. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. Great! You want to bounce something off your old friend Mr. Clare, right? Well, let's hear it, Harry. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about, it's absolutely fine. No, Harry. I'm perfectly neutral and 100% for transparency. I know people say a lot of bad things about the Debarders Union, but we are actually squeaky clean. What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. Empty all your barrels on me, Harry. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over. Yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types. Yes, please, Harry. Feel free to speak your mind or ask me anything. Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was. Very cool, Harry. It's very cool. Absolutely, Harry. What's on your mind? I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me. Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Evrart doesn't mind. If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator. And I'm sure you two had a hell of a time. But I couldn't care less about the bitch. Let's talk about the real stuff, Harry. The stuff that matters. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I've helped you with your lost gun. Tell her everything. Evrart doesn't mind. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I helped you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you shouldn't work with her just because you and I are such good friends. I'm not a jealous guy. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I tried to help you with the body and helped you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I tried to help you with the body and finding your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I helped you get the body down and I'm helping you find your gun. I'm not a jealous guy. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I helped you get the body down and to find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I helped you get that nasty body down from the tree. I'm not a jealous guy. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I tried to help you with the body. I'm not a jealous guy. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. I'm not a jealous guy. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. And with finding your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down. And I helped you find your gun. I'm not a jealous guy. Yes, yes, my best men are tracking it down. Some kids saw some other kids running away with it. Some folks said a paranoid schizophrenic might have it. Leads are being checked, Harry. What's that, Harry? You're getting a little pale. Is it the words paranoid schizophrenic and lost gun in one sentence? Don't worry, it's just a lead. It'll probably turn out to be nothing. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort. Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course. Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I don't care about my gun. I love it, Harry. Wish I could be like that, but I can't. I have a responsibility to this community. I can't have a loaded gun in the streets. I don't care about my gun. I love it, Harry. Wish I could be like that, but I can't. I have a responsibility to this community. I can't have a loaded gun out in the streets. Harry, Harry. I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry. Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands. Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it. Now, please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important. Building our relationship for the good of Martinez. A skinny, shy young girl? Never mind. Perhaps we should try it out in the wild sometime. I doubt you'll learn anything from that fishing rod. What are you trying to accomplish, Harry? Ha ha! Maybe you were. Well, you certainly succeeded, Harry. You are a very surprising police officer indeed. I thought so, Harry. I thought so. We should go out together sometime. Bond like men of worth and value. I see you're admiring my fishing gear. Are you by any chance a fisherman yourself? The golden boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future, Harry, and I feel I can finally trust you now. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a bright future, and you've proven yourself someone I can trust, someone I can really do business with. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future, Harry, and proven yourself a real kingsman who's not afraid to make the tough decisions. I know I can trust you now. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future. I feel I can finally trust you, Harry. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table. You're in my inner circle. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table. There was no fine print, Harry. But I do hope all that construction noise and limited street access encourages some people to move. After a year of that ruckus, who wouldn't? And when they do, they will have a good place to go. I'm currently working on renovating the buildings near the roundabout into affordable workers' palaces. Harry! By now, you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider moving, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers' palaces. You were there, you saw the place. A wasteland. There's nothing left. But mark my words, Harry. We are going to reset it. Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce. Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing. Yes, I do. I got the centre, I got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years, I'll get the church too. The wheels are already turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on. I accept your salute, Harry. All of it is true. I've got the centre, I've got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years I'll get the church too. The wheels are turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on. And I knew you were one too, Harry. Right when you rolled into town. I've got the centre, I've got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years I'll get the church too. The wheels are turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on. Oh, I do, Harry. I really do. I'm going to make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier with that vote of yours. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace. Damn right I am, Harry. I'm going to make the working man as rich as she is one day. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace. Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself, and I'm too fat for that. I'm listening, Harry. Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. I have. It's a great story, Harry. Did you also know how the bee colony kills the giant hornet? They swarm and blanket it entirely until it suffers a massive heat stroke and dies. Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. Harry, there is no strike, only war, class war, or, in business terms, a dawn raid, or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines. Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance. Yes, of course. And while you're doing that, please go ahead and also tell the Wild Pines. I want to hear them squeal from the indignity. It's also far removed from my men and the people of Martinez who've put their trust in me. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez. You know why you're such a good detective, Harry. You don't get sidetracked. You care about the people you're supposed to protect, not some systems that may or may not be unethical. Oh, Harry, you've misunderstood. I have no drugs in my hands. It's all far removed from me like some half-remembered dream. Harry, if I was supplying raw materials to drug manufacturers, I would need an army of rubies. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight. Yes, if you start thinking about it like that, the socialist municipal body sort of is like a corporation, isn't it? It uses corporate law. We're incorporated. I like to think we're using the best parts of all the ideologies here, Harry. Thank you, Harry, thank you. You have no idea how much it means to me, because in many ways, you are that working man. You have already done so much work. Harry, the future I have in store for Martinez will have all the macho aesthetics you love so much. The crowns, the guns. I will even slip in a skull and bones for you, my friend. Harry, the length you're willing to go to keep your nose clean is remarkable. You will always have a warm bed in Mr. Clare's household, my friend, and a special place in the future of Martinez. 2,372. Plus yours truly, of course. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry. I'm always happy to educate and entertain you, my friend. So, what's on your mind? Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me. But it had to be done. Your gun is with an old woman. I hear she's a character, so watch out. An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out. Turns out she bought the gun from Roy, the local pawnbroker. And honestly, Harry, I have no idea how your gun ended up in Roy's hands. Someone must have stolen it from you while you were sleeping. Anyway, the neighbours of this old lady contacted my men because they trust me and the Barbadairs Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building. As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt. Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs. I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast, the one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff. That's it. But you haven't asked me about your gun yet. We have so much more to talk about. Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union. This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open. Very nice, Harry. Is there anything else? Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on. Glad you asked. I've got type 2 diabetes because sugar and fat was all my mother had to give me and my brother Edgar when we were kids. Good job too, as it made me ugly. And ugly people, Harry, are much better at politics. Why, a war, of course. Victory, Harry. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. You're not an ultra-liberal, Harry. Get the fuck out of here. Don't be a retard. Tits from her arsehole. It's a local saying. I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead. No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from Evrart Clare. Couldn't have done it without him. I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob. Or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. Truth is, I simply don't know. We're way past specific Union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything. We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams. Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities, drug trade. Now you're being stupid, Harry. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. We're going to transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his benefed and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperazole. I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. I'm an old-fashioned guy, Harry. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel. No, Harry. That's boring. All right, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials trade is off the table. It's such a small and insignificant slice of revenue, I'm cutting it. Boys. Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering? Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawnshop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway, wild stuff, Harry. Absolutely wild. I'm not judging you. We all have our dark days. What matters is union men are gonna help you fix this. Anyway, the neighbours of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building. I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes, workers on welfare, and landowners in Azon hating me. That will be my statue. And yours. We're doing this together. I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes, kids off speed, and landowners in Azon hating me. That will be my statue. And yours. We're doing this together. Oh, I do, Harry. I really do. I'm gonna make the working man richer than Joyce Messier with that vote of yours. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace. Damn right I'm up to something, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace. It's already happening. So am I. The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez. I sure do, Harry. One of our many great conversations. Heck, one of my favourites. What about it? Sure thing, champ. Lead the way. Haven't you seen the crates outside, Harry? There's all sorts of fun stuff inside them. I mean, heck, this one has you and the lieutenant, me, and my novelty swordfish clock. Haven't you seen the crates outside, Harry? There's all sorts of fun stuff inside them. I mean, heck, this one has you, me, and my novelty swordfish clock.